last time we left off when Chad got his ass kicked by Noitora just after kicking someone's butt, introducing us to the Diablo thing. I don't know what to call it. What do you guys call it?
He was used to power scale. Ish, it's painful.
Yeah.
Just call it the devil's arm because it's Diablo. I can't remember the thing, but it's basically the devil's arm, the
Right.
devil's hand, or something like that.
I want to say
Chad-
Diablo Jambla, but I'm like, that's Sanji.
Yo, Chad, the names for Chad's arms are way overhyped though. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like you're like, yo, devil's arm, devil's arm. Let's see where we're going. But Chad just takes L's, bro. He taking them L's.
You know what?
Is his name Ichigo? Everybody has
Yeah.
this problem. Look at the Bankais. All the Bankais will have the dopest names ever. Do they ever defeat the villain?
Nope.
You know what's funny is like even Ichigo doesn't really win his fights. Like his Hollow wins his fights. But
Yeah.
it is like it's like who everybody gets upstaged by somebody. Like it's so weird, dog.
The only person who
Like Renji. Look at Renji. Howl Zabimaru, pa down.
the only person who wins is Byakuya when he has to save his sister. Like that's the only person who wins.
Wins straight up.
No, you gotta give Ichigo. You gotta give Ichigo what's his face, blue haired guy. Why am I forgetting it now?
Oh, Grimjaw.
Oh, Grimjaw.
Grimjaw. You gotta give him.
But Grimjaw's alive.
But he still
wanted
beat
to
him.
fight, and then Noitara took him out.
But it's still a W. How?
It's not a W. It's not over. It wasn't finished.
What do you mean it's not over? He was not
It's
gonna
like-
do anything to Ichigo at that point.
It's like imagine if Stone Cold did a stun on The Rock, and then The Rock is like, "I'm not done," and then the Undertaker comes through and is like, "Oh, you're finished now." It's
No,
like-
it's not WWE. Come on
So
now.
basically, by that logic, we could say that if Krillin if Krillin decided not to listen to Goku and actually chop Vegeta's head off, that would be Krillin's win, right? That would be Krillin's W.
It will be Krillin's W, dog. I believe it's Krillin's
No,
W.
that's not how that works. Wait, hold on.
It's Krillin's W.
It's not Krillin's W. First off, that's a collective W anyway, because the whole team had to pitch in anyway. Grimjaw and Ichigo was 1-on-1, and Grimjaw was finished at that point. There was nothing he could do to Ichigo.
Orihime didn't do shit. No, but I'm just joking.
We'll
But
get to
Orihime
that.
never
We'll
does
get
shit.
to that.
All Orihime does is
Hey. I will.
And look
Okay,
cute.
okay.
I'll get this.
Okay, let me
We'll
ask,
get it.
let me ask
Okay, Zuko, just to clue you in, me and Mr. Pillar were having a thing where we're going to be doing the battle of the century, Orihime versus Sakura, of which is the most useless females in the big three. So I'm saying I'm team Orihime because I
I'm
cannot
Team
stand Sakura.
All the
I am
way.
team
Between the
Orihime for two reasons. She's got the Valley of the Gods, and her power is actually fast and useful. When she uses her healing power, it doesn't take forever.
It has nothing to do with her powers. I'm telling you this now. Sakura just sucks. I don't care about her powers.
Yo.
Hence, I'm saying
Yeah.
she wins for two reasons: the
At least I
D's
can.
the D's.
and the power.
At least I can argue that Sakura is part of the main cast. I don't even know if Orihime is in the main cast of Bleach, dog.
You can argue that,
I
but
don't
is
even
she a
know.
helpful part of the main cast, or does she drag the
No.
main cast down? Because I'm telling you.
Okay, wait, we can't do this now. We'll get there.
Yeah, no,
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Oh my god. Okay. Just a
I was about
snippet,
to-
everybody.
I was about to get my Mortal Kombat voice on. Round one, fight.
I prefer the King
Finish
of
him.
Fighters one though.
Anyway.
go.
I'm a
Okay.
Street Fighter guy. Let's keep it up.
Wait,
Fight.
wait, so are we at where Noitara and Kenpachi are fighting, and then he uses the two
They're
hands?
about to. They're about to.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
about to.
Yeah.
And that's when you also learn that power scaling in Bleach was just non-existent, because it's like, how did Ichigo even match this guy? I'm hella confused, because he's matching people. No, he's killing people who have Bankai level power, and he's just using a Shikai. Not even a Shikai, actually. He doesn't know the name of his sword.
No,
Like, Sasaki Kenpachi is hella strong.
But I mean, there is a quote where Aizen says that a battle between Shinigami is basically one's Reiatsu against another one's. I mean, I don't want to skip too far ahead, but he does that monologue when he's fighting Soifan. Because you know Soifan does the whole double butterfly thing on him, and which is supposed to kill you instantly. And then he's like, "No, but my Reiatsu is bigger than yours, so it doesn't count." And I was like,
Mariachi's over 9,000.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah, but I think that felt like a
I
retcon though.
guess.
Why all of a sudden?
it definitely feels like a retcon, but I feel like, not to jump too far ahead, everything with Aizen is a flippin' retcon, dog. Like I was just like when you're watching it or reading it, you're just like, yo, Aizen is just pulling things out of his ass, dog, and monologuing about it. Like it's like, yo, by the way, just because the world is in reverse, my powers are in reverse. And you're like, wait, what?
But he was so cool. He was so cool. Like that's the thing.
But that
If you
Superman
make a
curve.
cool, it's like Madara. Madara was doing things where you're like ninjas can't do that. Since when? But it's Madara, so you're just like okay, fine.
Exactly. Like, where did you pull the comet from, dude? Like, where are you pulling a comet from? Like, what is going on? You dropping meteors on niggas now? Like, where does this come from?
But that scene was epic though, dog. Imagine someone throwing a meteor on you, you stop and it's like, oh, okay, let me drop another one.
Like it's Chibaku Tensei. It's Chibaku Tensei, but Pain couldn't do that. He could just keep it in the sky.
Yeah.
Madara could decide that this thing is falling whenever he wants it to fall.
That is crazy, dog. Yeah, but
well,
anyway,
Naruto's also another one. But getting back to this thing. So yeah, he gets washed. Then I think Ichigo tries to fight Noitara a little bit, and then that's when Zaraki Kenpachi steps in. Then they have their one-on-one.
Are we skipping Nell? This is when Nell.
Oh right, Nell. Oh yes, Nell transformed. Oh, and Nell was handling him.
Nell was handling him, bruh. Like if her broken mask thing didn't revert back, Noitara was
that
done
felt like
for,
such a cop out. That felt like Kubo saying, "I want Zaraki to beat him." That's what it felt like.
But also, I think
you kind of had to do that because remember, basically all the captains had someone to fight, so he couldn't just. The only captain who didn't really need to fight was the 12 squad one because he's the science guy. But all the other ones, they kind of like battling captains, so they have to fight. So that's probably why he did that.
He should have given
but he didn't also need
She was already there.
Mayuri's fight was very fast anyway, so you're right. I mean, he just came in, rescued Renji and Uryu, and then he gave a speech about perfection, and that's it.
Yeah. I think
go ahead, Pillar. Sorry.
I was gonna say, just in general, when it comes to Bleach fights, I always find it like the most interesting battles are when the captain is fighting a Aranka that is not the same personality type. Like when Naruto is fighting Kenpachi, I'm like, oh, it's two beast fighters fighting, so there's like no real personality.
Yeah.
Third, when it's like, let's say for example, I'll choose perfect one is like Soifan versus King.
Oh, Baragon.
King, because like their fighting style is so different.
100%.
Fight interesting, but when it's just like, oh, we're the same person and we're fighting together, it's like, all
What's the point? It's basically.
I kind of dig that stuff though. So personally,
who's more badass? I get
personal.
I dig that. I dig the badass off in an anime, especially when it's done proper. Like when it's actually done proper, it's like it's fun to watch. Because I mean, that was all of Dragon Ball Z. Like it just ended up turning out who's more badass, and we enjoyed the hell out of that. So for me, I enjoy both types of fights. I enjoy it when similar character types are fighting, and when it's totally different and all of that stuff. I mean, both can be done really well, and both can be done really badly because. The other way, it can become so incomprehensible that you don't understand whose ability works how, and all of that stuff. Like, for example, some stuff in Jujutsu Kaisen, like you don't know, bro, what's happening?
Like I am so confused. What's happening. I am so confused. And it's provocative.
They don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
like, so much.
the people
like, they don't. Like they don't know what's happening so much that some random lady has to come in, and we've never seen her. I don't know who she is, and then she's like, Sukuna's ability does this, so he doesn't have a domain. He makes the world his domain. Wait, how?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I've noticed about Jujutsu Kaisen? It's kind of like Bleach, but it takes it way too far. Because with Bleach, what happens is, like when the captains come in, for example, you learn about their Shika, you learn about their Bankai and all of that. And it's interesting because it's the first time you see it. You don't really know the extent of the power, but you're interested in how they explain the power. Jujutsu Kaisen, almost every fight is like that. It's like when they're fighting, you learn about their domain expansion, or you learn about this or that or whatever. But then when I saw Tsukuna fighting at the what's this one, the Shibuya, I was like, what is happening here, dog? I was so confused, dog.
I'm actually literally gonna rewatch it because I'm honestly so lost. I am not understanding.
I still don't know how Gojo's ability works. I still don't know how it works. I'm still confused.
Yeah,
like it's infinity, and you can't touch infinity, or like, huh? So you can't actually touch him, and like.
So I think
what? I don't understand.
Field that is around him constantly, and nobody can touch it in infinity. And then I guess he can expand it however he wants, or contract it however he wants. Okay. And that's how he kills people.
Like sometimes you're watching anime, and it's like when I was watching Hunter. It's like when I was watching Hunter x Hunter at some point. I was like, am I doing math now? Like, this is mathematics. I don't
know. Some of it doesn't even make sense because there's the dude who's shooting blood, and I'm like, there's nobody's body has that much blood to shoot out. You should be like dead, bro. Like he's everywhere. Like
he's a curse or whatever, I guess. So his body is. But I'm saying like Hunter x Hunter, some abilities will be so confusing to me. I'm like, so wait, he won because he was lying down on the ground and blowing. No, like there's this Nen master, and he beats this speed guy by blowing bubbles, blowing like gum or whatever. So he's like blowing gum or something, and he's not fighting this guy. He's literally sleeping, and then the gum like travels around, and then like it travels around the ring, and somehow creates a circle that slows down the speed guy, and that's how the speed guy gets beaten or whatever. And I'm like, wait, what? Take me back to Gone where he's just punching people. I understand
when he was fighting the cheetah guy. When he was fighting the cheetah guy.
I was so confused. Yeah, I'm so
confused. Didn't he make
how
a clone? Wait, I'm trying to remember. I think he made a clone, and then from the clone he beat him that way. But I'm not 100% sure.
I can tell you that I didn't understand what happened. That's all I know.
We should probably do like a tier list or general discussion on anime power systems and our favorites.
All I know is that Bungee Gum has the properties of both Bungee and Gum. That's literally what I know from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Bubble Gum.
Because I want to going back to Jujutsu Kaisen, like who's this guy's dad? It's like he's like the Sasuke of the show. But if Sasuke didn't turn...
Toji. Are you talking about Toji?
His first energy to become super powerful.
Who?
Yeah, Toji.
Yeah,
Toji.
Toji.
What's his
guy,
name?
So he's basically the guy with the knife, man, who stabs people.
With the spirit thing. That's biting the thing.
So his power is obviously, I'm not the authority. I'm just watching it like everybody else. I'm gathering that he has a lot of cursed energy, but then he sacrificed his cursed energy to gain superhuman strength. So he has superhuman speed, superhuman smell, superhuman sight. So he's basically like Superman, but he can't fly.
Oh, so that's how he killed Gojo.
Yeah.
No, well, he couldn't take Gojo one-on-one, so he had to he had to basically Batman up. Like, he's Batman and Superman, basically, because he had to create all sorts of, and basically he had to make Gojo tired. So Gojo was awake for 6 days or whatever. And that was Gojo before he hit his peak as Gojo, so.
True. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and when it comes to superhuman powers and things that don't make sense, I don't know if you guys watch JoJo. There's times where in JoJo, they'll tell you I don't know what is going on. This nigga stopped time, and then the other guy stopped time.
No, bro, you want to know what's confusing? You want to know what's confusing? Like that part, like part 5 with Giorno, and there's the guy who can basically like erase time, but like time
Yeah.
still happens, but it doesn't affect him. But somehow he's erasing that specific. I was like,
Yeah.
and
But
then you
you
get to Golden Requiem.
That's the thing about
Which
shonen.
also makes me wonder. Which makes me wonder how the Zero Squad guy, the bald one who paints you out of existence, how the hell do you lose with a power like that?
Oh, Ichibe.
I can literally
Ichibe.
erase you, Ichibe. I can erase you out of existence. It doesn't matter how powerful you are.
Which part was he in?
Oh,
Which part was he in?
Wait,
He's in the new one. He's in the new one.
1,000-year Blood War.
1,000-year
The 1,000-year Blood War.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Bleach. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Juha Bach just decided that it doesn't work. Anyway,
So
like the
he
1,000
basically-
Blood
But
War.
you are
So I don't know how
basically
it
Aizen
the
it.
ability to alter reality as well.
Who?
Yeah.
Juha Bach, his power is to change
Yeah.
ability. Yeah. I mean, to change reality.
But here's the thing: if I erase you out of reality, how can you change it?
But that's the thing. We
Ah,
don't know. It's just up to what Kubo's feeling at the time, bro.
Because literally, if I say right now that Kim, his name is not Kim, then you guys don't know him anymore because you know Kim, and Kim
Yes.
doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So he's now erased from existence.
But
I think
if
that's
Kim
the-
has decided that Kim exists and Kim has the powers of Juha Bach, then we know him. Your thing is irrelevant.
You see what I mean?
Kind of like
It
the
doesn't make sense.
No, it gets to comic book logic. It's just like why can Thor and Hulk punch each other and the world doesn't explode? It gets to that point where like
Yeah.
eventually characters are so powerful that like with Dragon Ball Z, everybody's planetary. Everybody like at some point it's way too up there. So
remember
remember
the fight between Kenpachi and the kid who couldn't feel pain or something?
Which one? Which
No,
fight was that? Is that in the
that was
1,000 Blood
Igaku,
War?
wasn't it?
Not
Oh,
Ikaku,
okay, so
man.
that's-
It was this kid who was fighting Kenpachi's. You know that he's
his vice captain.
the
His
vice
vice
captain,
captain.
yeah. And the girl who was under Unohana, that girl,
Yeah. The fourth squad vice captain.
Yeah, because that guy, I think he creates people out of thin air or something. Because he created some lady or someone that was fighting.
Hey, but I read it a while ago.
It's not filler, though. It's
Okay,
in-
so I think that one, yeah, you're right. It's man.
Do you remember?
Okay.
That
But
kid, that teenager.
her Shikai was insane because it was double edge. So you see this part. This is the part you see. So if I strike you with this and you dodge this, you think I've dodged. Kanti, there's actually a second one which is long, and that's when you don't see it. So that's her Shikai.
Wait,
so that's a
she
dope
was-
Shikai.
Jujutsu Kaisen levels. Yeah.
Wait. I'm talking about the one who was part of Yuha Bach's crew. Right? I think he was a blonde or something. He was a blonde, and then I think he could even do explosives, or he had guns or something, and then
No, okay, that's the one Kenpachi fought. But the thing is, he had the power of imagination. So if he
the power
imagined
of
it,
imagination, yeah, right.
so if he imagined it, he could do it. And if he imagines you old, you become old.
Yes.
If he imagines you, if your power level is 1,000 and his is 1,000, and he imagines your power level at 500, then your power level goes to 500. So then he can beat you that way.
Yes.
Now,
But
how do you lose
so
your
Kenpachi
powers?
just overpowered the power of imagination.
Yeah, bro.
Because Kenpachi just didn't believe in his imagination. So he's like, I will.
Yeah, and that guy started being
All right,
convinced that
bro.
I think he
And then the guy started doubting himself.
Yes.
Because Kenpachi comes through and he's just like, I have the biggest one and I'm swinging. And if you start doubt, and then because that one is a mind thing, the moment you start doubting yourself, it becomes weaker. So basically, what Kenpachi did is
he convinced
because
that kid.
when he was beating him, like when I get at the kid when he starts doing his first moves and Kenpachi's beating them, he starts putting doubt in his mind, but he's not aware that he has doubt. So now when he's taking out his powers, he's still doubting them, so they're not at full capacity.
Yes.
So that's how Kenpachi actually beat it. He didn't just believe in himself. He didn't have the power of belief, and he did
Friendship.
or friendship or talk no jutsu. He actually just put doubt in that guy, and then because of that doubt, his power didn't come out the way he had wanted to come out. And because every
well, I
time,
mean, look, to be fair, just with power systems and fiction in general, it's hard to be consistent all the time. I mean, even if we go to something as simple as Harry Potter, how are these children besting fully grown magician adults? like you had one summer school of magic, and now you're just beating all of these guys who have been training their entire lives for this thing. Like Harry didn't graduate.
You just learned Wingardium Leviosa. You just learned Wingardium Leviosa and whatever Patronum, and you can defeat
and Patronus.
I have to say one thing though,
guys. Harry Potter had the power of love.
I have to say, Kubo, like, this has always been my beef with Kubo. Don't get me wrong, I still like Bleach, but action sequences, they look pretty, but there's there's no weight, like, there's no stakes. But like, people can just literally swing at each other and swing, but we don't know like how much, like, how long these people can go for, what's at stake. Like, it just looks like two things just clashing. And I feel like it's not a huge problem in this arc per se, but it's something that gets bigger and bigger, especially after Ichigo versus Aizen. Yeah. After that, then all fights just become like that whole 1,000-year Blood Walk arc is just like, you can't keep up with what's happening, except for Yamamoto's fight in terms of stakes. But it literally just becomes two things, ding, ding, and then fight over.
Do you guys understand that lady's
shout out to the Captain Commander?
Do you guys remember that lady's Bankai from Squad Zero? The lady who's like the scientist as well. She has a Bankai with like bells and like.
She have like arms.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like, I feel like if that's how you feel, that like the show's done that all the time. I would even say from part one. Like, even like the best parts of Bleach have been that, because like we don't like nobody understood how first off how Ichigo overpowered 3 vice captains. No one understands that, and he did it barehanded.
One man.
I don't even like those moments. I felt, the thing is, I always let it slide, but then at some point it just became every single fight. So like in this one, there was a little bit of strategy in specific fights in this specific arc, or at least I could follow who was winning and who was losing. It was pretty clear. Like, I'll use, for example, Ichigo versus Ulukira. Oh, okay, he just got blown a hole through his chest. He must be losing. But then in other fights, it's kind of like just two things just clashing, and I'm like, I don't know who's winning and who's losing here until Kubo tells me.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like, there's no like, this guy's injured and he's weakening, and his Bankai is, it's like starting to lose its stability. And then he pulls out a special move to win or something like that. Or the other guy loses concentration and he thinks like, oh, I've already won. And he goes on a monologue. While he's going on a monologue, the dude like plans a little something like that.
It would be as simple as something like, oh, if Ichigo had like a power limiter, like, oh, I only have 3 Getsuga Tenshos left in this fight. Then I know, oh shit, nigga, like, you need to win this fight in 3 Getsuga Tenshos. And then I know what's.
But that never lasts in any shonen anime. But I'm saying that never lasts in any shonen anime. Like every shonen anime, I only have like this long to do this, and then they whip it out anyway. Go past your limits. Like, for example, if we go to My Hero Academia, All Might was talking about my body is breaking down as I speak, yada yada yada. Then he's saying to everybody, a hero can show you in a final pinch, plus ultra. So I mean.
Don't mock the man.
It's an issue I have, definitely, that with most animes, but I do feel like it's something that's great to do.
But I don't even think it's an anime thing. I mean, even if we go to superheroes, like Spider-Man will say, I can only bench 10 tons. And then next thing you know, Jiggy now is lifting 50. And we're like, how?
No, but he also is running out of
responsibility.
But he is running out of web. So there is times where he's like, oh, I'm running out of web or I'm running out of blood. There's stakes with Peter where he's like, oh, I've got to try and figure this out in a certain amount of time, or else I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean,
So we
okay,
kinda
but
like-
if we look at somebody like Superman, he'll say that he can only do so much, and then next thing you know, he's punching reality and he's reversing time by flying around the planet. So I
But
mean,
this is
for
a
me,
problem. I also don't like Superman fights. They're boring as hell.
They don't make
The
sense.
problem with Superman fights is they actually shouldn't even be fights. The dude is just
Yeah.
way too OP. That's all Superman needs to do, and he knocks you out.
Anyway, we tangented so hard.
Yeah, no,
Tebello
it's
would
crazy.
be
Alright.
so shocked at this tangent.
But also,
But
just
back to
before you go back there, I think the only anime that I'm thinking of is Yu-Gi-Oh! At least you see with the life points that the stakes are getting higher and higher or whatever.
I don't. But Yu-Gi-Oh also does. Yu-Gi-Oh also does things where it's just like like for example, draw Monster Cardo. Guy has 0 life points, but he's still drawing. What's happening?
I mean, Seinen is a lot more realistic, so I think in that
Berserk. No, Guts
Yes.
does things in Berserk. Guts does things in Berserk where I'm like, that needs explanation. How did he fight 1 million? He fought 1,000 people. 1,000 people in one night by himself, one man, and he beat all of them. How?
But at least I know when Guts is tired. I know when Guts is bleeding.
Yeah.
But
I know
how
when
did he
Guts
do it?
is-
But how?
But I'm following. I'm following.
But it's also like Finland Saga
He
as
had
well.
the power of Casca.
But it's like Finland
like,
Saga as
Guts-
well. Remember in Finland Saga, what's his name again? The main character, Thorfinn.
Oh,
Thorfinn.
Thorfinn.
Like 100 people, 100 people punch him, dog, so that he can speak to Canute, and he's still alive. He's still surviving. He's still standing. No ways, dog.
Yeah.
No, dog.
And
Before
he's
that,
still
he was
like
14. Before that, he
Eren
was
Yeager.
14. No, dog,
Yeah.
before that, no, let's go back to Thorfinn. Before that, he was like 14, 13. He's bodying like 17 grown men, and he thought Thorkel to a
Experienced
standstill,
men.
and he couldn't do anybody by.
This is the thing, though. He is like that. He's that nigga, for lack of a better term. But when he's
That's
fighting
the
someone on his
excuse.
I can tell when he's losing and when he's not losing. When he's
But
tired.
he shouldn't stand a
I
chance.
can tell.
But I'm saying
But
he
no,
shouldn't
100
stand a
punches.
chance, though.
100 punches.
It's
dog.
anime. It's anime.
Thorfinn
Ichigo can
never
fly.
had
Even though
training
his stomach can't
until his
fly.
dad died. And
But
then
I'm saying,
GG
remember how
he
they
can body people.
What I'm saying though, Pillar, is you're saying that as long as they show damage, it makes it more logical. I disagree because, like Berserk, all Guts is armed with is a sword and a cannon, and he's beating demons that have decimated entire armies with way more artillery than Guts has ever had.
But when he's fighting someone on his level, at least I can keep up. If he's fighting
But like
Griffith,
these
I know
guys
when
are
he's
above
winning. I
Guts.
know when
These
he's
guys are
losing.
physically above Guts.
Why
and
did I
beating him.
miss?
Too much.
We arguing anime logic.
We're arguing power systems and anime logic.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
But I guess that's why something like Samurai Jack makes more sense when the blue guy beats samurais. Like, you're not the man, you know what I mean? Or the minions of Set. You're like, more. This is way above my pay grade. It makes sense.
Although, again, if we want to go there, they can't beat Aku. And Aku
But he
has
can.
way more stuff than any of those guys.
And he can.
Like, Jack is only armed with a sword and sandals, and he's waxing the strongest being on Earth.
Meanwhile, he can't defeat the minions of Set. You're right. Doesn't make
Make it
sense.
make sense.
Aku is way faster than them. Aku can make himself into millions. He's got eye lasers. He can fly. Not to mention he's got legions and armies. Jack handles that all no problem. We get to the minions of Set and he just saw flames. We get to the Imakandi, flames. We get to the blue guy, flames. Like, so, I mean, everybody's got it somewhere, somehow.
That means the blue guy can defeat. The blue guy can defeat. With that logic, the blue guy can defeat Aku then. You know what I mean?
Which technically he should be able to, because only one
If you
person.
give him the same sword.
No, but the rule says only one person can defeat him to gain access to the portal, and if it's not Jack and it's not Aku, because we saw what the portal showed us, Then technically he should be able to defeat
Kennedy said. Kennedy said otherwise in season 5. So
We don't talk about season 5. Was season 5 voiced by the original Aku?
Oh,
but that's not fair. That's not fair.
I rest my case.
you pulled the Marco card, didn't you?
That's not fair. He pressed the Marco button.
Yeah, this guy. Anyway, guys, please
Anyway, back to you. Hi.
Yo, we
Sorry,
digressed and then
everybody
some.
joining us just now.
Hello, Zuko.
Sorry, everybody, just ADHD kids here.